Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is where we take a stack of sources, could be articles, research notes, you name it, and really dig in to pull out the absolute core insights. Think of it as your fast track to getting up to speed.
Yeah, getting the key takeaways without all the digging yourself.
Exactly. And today, we're diving into a specific area, gym growth. Specifically, how gym owners can find these, well, hidden opportunities for growth, for retention. Not necessarily by, throwing more money at marketing, but by using the data they actually already have.
Right. And for this deep dive, our source material is primarily excerpts from a white paper. It's by jthomas, called The Hidden Reports That Unlock Gym Growth.
Okay, jthomas. So his perspective, particularly for those independent gyms, the boutique studios, it's that, look, the fitness industry is tough, competitive. Everyone wants more revenue, better retention, more members, obviously.
Sure. Standard goals.
But he argues they're often overlooking this. He calls it a treasure trove of insights. And it's right there in their existing systems, your CRM, your point of sale data.
Exactly. His point is just looking at those big top-line numbers like total revenue or how many new signups this month, it's just not enough. It doesn't tell the whole story.
Right.
The real potential, the real growth levers are hidden. They're in fixing what he calls these hidden leaks and missed connections that happen day to day.
Hidden leaks and missed connections. I like that. So our mission today for this deep dive is to explore 3 specific reports that jthomas highlights. Reports that are often, well, underused.
Underused or maybe not even looked at sometimes.
Yeah, could be. And these reports, they can apparently help boost revenue, strengthen member engagement, and critically reduce churn. It's all about using the data you've already got to make smarter calls.
Yeah, turning that passive data pile into like an active strategy.
Okay, let's jump into the first one he mentions. Report number 1, the incomplete join report. What's that capturing exactly?
So this report tracks anyone who started the sign-up process for the gym but didn't actually finish it. Didn't become a paying member. And this covers, people who started online maybe, filled out part of a form, then bailed. Or even walk-ins, people who toured the facility, maybe asked about pricing.
Got it. They showed interest.
Right. Strong interest, but just never crossed that finish line to actually sign up and pay.
Okay, so these aren't cold leads at all. These people were actively considering joining. Why is tracking this specific group so important?
Well, it's fascinating because, like you said, they've shown real buying intent. They took actual steps the tour, asking questions, starting the registration. They're way, way more likely to convert than, say, random website traffic.
Much warmer leads.
Exactly. But as the white paper points out, they often just fall through the cracks. They vanish from the sales pipeline. Nobody follows up effectively.
Right. So the big insight here is these aren't just lost leads. They're potentially your best leads that you're somehow losing right at the end.
Precisely. You've often already spent marketing money or staff time to get them that far.
So not tracking this is like having a leak in your bucket right near the top.
Yeah, a major leak in the sales funnel. It's about catching those people who are practically halfway through the door already.
Okay, so if a gym owner pulls this report, what specifically should they be looking for? What are the patterns?
You really need to look for where they're dropping off. Was it right when they saw the price? Did they fill out the whole online form but maybe stumble at the payment step? Did they take a tour? Seemed keen, but then nothing. No follow-up call. You look for correlations too. Like, does it happen more on weekends? Or maybe with specific staff members handling the tour?
Oh, okay.
This helps you pinpoint the bottlenecks. Is the online sign-up just too confusing? Is the main offer unclear? Or is the follow-up process just weak or inconsistent?
That makes a lot of sense. Identifying the where and the why is crucial. So once you've got some insights in the report, what are the next steps? What actions does Thomas recommend?
He suggests putting actual systems in place for prompt follow-up. An automated email or text, something like, hey, we noticed you started signing up but didn't finish. That's a basic start.
Right.
Often good to pair that with a small short-term incentive, like, complete your sign-up now and get a free week, or waive the enrollment fee, something to nudge them back.
Give it a little push.
Exactly. And training staff is key. Give them specific scripts or talking points for re-engaging this specific group. Make it easy for the prospect to offer a quick call, maybe a virtual consult if they're busy. Flexible options.
And tracking, I assume.
Oh, absolutely critical. You have to track the outcomes. Measure the conversion rate from these follow-ups. Are people actually joining after you reach out? Check at, say, 30, 60, 90 days. See if your approach is actually working and adjust it.
You mentioned something earlier about the potential volume here.
Yeah.
Sometimes double the actual joins, is that right?
Yes, the hidden opportunity can be really substantial. Thomas highlights that this pool of almost joined people can easily be twice the number of your actual new members in any given month or period.
Wow.
So converting even just say 10 or 15% of that group can give you a really dramatic revenue boost. And crucially, without spending extra money on ads to find new people, you're just converting the interest you already generated.
That is a powerful idea. Maximize what you already have. Okay, so that's report one, fixing the almost joins, people who didn't quite make it in. But what about the people who did join, the members you have now? What data tells us if they're actually engaged and likely to stick around?
That brings us nicely to the second report he emphasizes, the unspent credit and free session redemption report.
Okay, unspent credits. What's this one about?
This basically flags members who've bought things like personal training packages, maybe bundles of class credits, but they haven't actually used them. Or it also tracks members who got free sessions maybe as part of a promotion or their membership level, but they haven't come in to redeem those either.
Okay, why is it so critical to know if people are using what they paid for or what they were given for free? Seems like the sale was already made, right?
It seems that way, but this is a huge flashing red light for retention. Big time. If members aren't using the services they have access to,
They're not getting the value.
Exactly. They're not getting the experience they paid for. They're not forming habits. They're not seeing results. They're not feeling connected to the gym, the trainers, the community.
And unengaged members leave.
Almost inevitably. Members who don't actively engage are significantly more likely to cancel down the road. And sometimes they might even blame the gym for not getting results, and not their own lack of showing up.
Ah, right. So the insight is clear. Unused credits often mean unengaged members, and unengaged members are a churn risk. This report helps you spot that risk before they actually cancel.
Precisely. Like you said, the sale was made, sure. But the really vital next step, getting them activated, getting them engaged, that hasn't happened yet for these people.
So what specifics should a gym owner be looking for when they run this report?
You want to identify members who have active packages or credits just sitting there, unused, and pay close attention to how long it's been, how long since their last session. Or maybe they bought a package 3 months ago and have never used a single credit.
Yeah.
That's even more alarming.
Yeah, definitely. So what are the actionable steps here? How do you get these people back in?
The white paper really recommends making this a standard process. Assign someone to check this report regularly, like weekly, and then reach out. Proactively. Treat these unredeemed sessions with agency. They signal someone is drifting away. Offer maybe small, easy things to get them back in the door, a free quick nutrition chat, a body scan, even just a simple reminder call, hey, saw you have sessions, let's get you booked.
Make it easy for them.
Yes. Use automated texts or emails too, specifically encouraging them to book now. And this is important follow-up after they finally use a session. Reinforce that positive experience, ask how it went, encourage them to book the next one, keep the momentum going.
Okay, so the hidden opportunity here, like you said, isn't really about a new sale. It's about ensuring the member actually gets the value they've already paid for.
Right. Which directly impacts their likelihood of staying long-term.
So the financial gain isn't immediate. It's in securing the future revenue, the lifetime value of that member you already have.
Exactly. Thomas cites data showing members who consistently use their sessions or training packages have like 30 to 50% higher retention rates, significantly higher lifetime value. This report is your tool to nudge people into that stickier, higher value group.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. So we've covered capturing prospects just before they join with the incomplete join report. We've looked at engaging current members who aren't using their benefits with the unspent credit report. That logically leads to the third one, the freeze, downgrade, and cancellation reason report. Sounds like the ultimate feedback mechanism.
It really is, or it should be. This report lists out members who've decided to freeze their account, maybe downgrade to a cheaper plan, or just cancel altogether. And the absolutely crucial part is it includes why, their stated reason for doing it.
Why do you think so many gyms just let members leave without really digging into this? It seems like such obvious, valuable information.
It's a really common oversight, I think. Maybe it feels negative or they just track the number of cancellations, not the reasons. But Jim Thomas really hammers this point. Every single reason someone gives for leaving is a potential insight you can act on. It's a direct piece of feedback about your business.
It's like a free consultant telling you what's wrong.
Pretty much. Is it your pricing? Your class schedule. Are people not getting the results they expected? Is there an issue with a particular staff member or program? This report is basically your roadmap for improving retention because it tells you why people are unhappy or why the service isn't meeting their needs anymore.
Okay, so when a gym owner looks at this cancellation report, this exit data, what should they focus on?
You want to look for the recurring themes. What are the top 3 reasons people give? Is cost always number 1? Or maybe it's schedule conflicts or moving away or didn't see results.
Right.
Look for patterns there too. Are people leaving mostly after, say, 3 months? Or is it more after a year? Do cancellations spike after you make changes like changing the class schedule or maybe a popular instructor leaves?
You're looking for those correlations again.
Exactly. Connect the dots between the reasons people leave and what's happening operationally in the gym.
This data feels incredibly actionable.
Yeah.
So what specific steps can a gym take based on what they find in this report?
Well, the idea is to develop targeted solutions. If your top reason is cost, okay, maybe you need to explore an off-peak membership option or a tier with fewer perks but a lower price point.
Address the issue head on.
Right. If people are leaving saying, didn't get results, maybe you need to implement a mandatory results check-in after 60 days or offer a free goal-setting session when they join to set realistic expectations. The white paper even suggests creating specific win-back campaigns. If you know people often leave because of schedule issues and then you add more evening classes, you could email those past members saying, hey, remember that schedule problem? We fixed it.
That's clever. Targeted win-back.
Yeah. And using your regular communications, blog posts, emails, social media to proactively talk about the common concerns you see in the report. Address them publicly. And critically, make reviewing this report, say, monthly, a standard part of your team meetings. Discuss the trends, discuss the solutions.
So it's not just looking back at who left. It's actively using that information to build a stronger experience moving forward, to prevent the next person from leaving for the same reason.
Exactly. It becomes a proactive retention strategy. You get these real-time insights, you can fix the underlying problems, and like we said, maybe even reverse some past cancellations with smart, targeted outreach based on why they left in the first place.
Okay, so we've walked through these 3 key reports: incomplete joins for capturing prospects, unspent credits for engaging current members, and the cancellation reasons for understanding the why behind churn. How do these all connect? What's the big picture here when you put them together?
Well, if you step back and look at them together, they really function as these powerful diagnostic tools for the business.
Okay.
Each one shines a light on a specific silent leak or a missed opportunity, right? Either just before they join, while they're a member, or right as they're thinking of leaving.
Right, different stages of the member life cycle.
Exactly. And they expose these fixable flaws. Maybe it's your follow-up process, maybe it's the member experience itself, maybe your offers aren't quite right. But collectively, they give you a really clear path to, well, reactivation, better engagement, and ultimately protecting and growing your revenue.
So let's quickly recap the big 3 insights here based on what Jim Thomas highlights.
Sure. So the incomplete join report, that tells you, fix your sales follow-up, convert those warm leads. The unspent credit report says, maximize the value for members you already have, activate them, engage them, keep them longer.
Got it.
And the exit funnel, audit the freeze, downgrade cancellation report, that's your direct feedback loop. Use it to build a stronger, more satisfying member experience that stops people from leaving in the first place.
Makes sense. And there was a pro tip in the white paper that kind of ties this all together, right?
Right.
About a dashboard.
Yes. Build a monthly growth dashboard. This is how you make sure the insights actually lead to consistent action.
Oh, so what goes on this dashboard?
Keep it simple. Track the key numbers from each report. How many incomplete joins did we have this month? What was our follow-up conversion rate on them?
Okay.
What's the status of unspent credits? How many people did we reach out to? How many sessions got booked? And then what were our top 3, maybe top 5 reasons for cancellations or freezes this month? And this is key. What specific actions are we taking right now to address those reasons?
Putting the solutions right next to the problems on the dashboard.
Exactly. It connects the data to the action.
And this dashboard approach, who's responsible for it? Does it just float around?
No. Jim Thomas strongly suggests assigning clear ownership. Maybe one person owns tracking the incomplete joins, another owns the unspent credits outreach, someone else analyzes the exit reasons. Make specific people accountable.
Accountability, right.
And then make reviewing this dashboard a non-negotiable item in your monthly leadership meetings or maybe even team huddles.
What does that regular review process bring? Why is it so important?
Well, it brings clarity, first off. Everyone sees the real numbers, the real issues, no hiding from the data.
Okay.
It brings that accountability we just mentioned. Specific people are responsible for moving those numbers. And maybe most importantly, it builds momentum. It shifts the whole gym's focus towards smarter, data-driven growth. You move from just guessing or reacting to proactively knowing and acting.
So wrapping this up, what does this all mean for you listening in? I think the main takeaway from this deep dive from Jim Thomas's work is that smart gym growth. It isn't always about doing more stuff or spending more money externally.
Right. It's fundamentally about seeing more and acting smarter with the data you already have sitting inside your own systems.
Don't just guess where you might be losing money or members. Use reports like the incomplete join or unspent credit reports to actually know.
Yeah. Pinpoint the leaks. And don't just assume why members might be leaving. Ask them. Track the reasons systematically with that cancellation report.
And maybe shift some focus from only chasing brand new leads to also making sure you capture those warm leads already in your pipeline and really work to keep the great members you already have.
It's about optimizing the entire funnel, not just the top.
So here's a final thought to consider. Are you, or is the gym you run or belong to, actively using the data you already have to really understand these hidden leaks, these untapped opportunities?
Or is that potential growth, that retention improvement, just sitting there buried in reports that nobody ever looks at?
Yeah. What stands out to you from these 3 reports we discussed? Incomplete joins, unspent credits, cancellation reasons, as maybe the first area worth investigating.
And if digging into this, setting up these systems, figuring out how to act on this data, if that feels overwhelming, the source material does mention that help is available.
Right.
Jim Thomas and his team at Fitness Management and Consulting, they specifically help gyms with this stuff. They offer a complimentary strategy call. You can find them at fmconsulting.net. That's fmconsulting.net. Or email info@fmconsulting.net.
Good resource to know. So
Yeah.
remember the bottom line here. Smart growth doesn't always have to cost more. Often, it just sees more in the data you have.
And acts faster on those insights.